What's going on, guys? Aaron from Top Tier Gaming here, and today I'm coming at you with a duel between myself on Dragonmaid and my opponent on Dragon Link. And yeah, I know a lot of you guys really enjoy watching Dragonmaid play, and that's why I wanted to do a duel video between it. And luckily our opponent is Dragon Link, and I think this matchup is super interesting just because a lot of people see Dragonmaid as just like weaker Dragon Link. And they do a lot of the same stuff, but the decks end up having a very different playstyle. And, you know, there's some things about Dragon Link that's, you know, better than Dragonmaid, but there's actually some things about Dragonmaid that's better than Dragon Link. And hopefully we get a good game here. Of course, I've already played it, so I know, but I'm not spoiling anything. And yeah, I hope to be able to get some more live duels with this deck in the future, as well as a lot more live duels in general. It's just about setting it up, and hopefully I can get it to where I can start recording locals games. That's one of my goals. It's just about getting a camera that isn't my phone to use at locals, because using my phone, I might not have enough battery for the whole day, right? But in the future, there should be a lot more live duels. But I do enjoy these dueling book games because it's really easy for me to just talk to you guys and sort of explain my thought process as we go. And yeah, that was a long enough intro. We're going to jump into the game here. But if you guys are unaware, Discord links down below and our social media links as well if you want to follow us or join like a Yu-Gi-Oh community. Maybe you can play Master Duel with friends. Also want to let you guys know, if you are enjoying the Yu-Gi-Oh content, to like and subscribe. It really helps us with what we do here on the channel. And without further ado, let's get into this game. So we're going to start off with the rock paper scissors, and I do win the rock paper scissors. Fortunate for me. Of course, I don't know I'm playing against Dragon Link yet, but being able to set up first, it is pretty useful. So opening hands, we're going to see that I have Pot of Prosperity, Monster Reborn, Pot of Prosperity, Effect Veiler, and Nibiru. So no play initially, but our go second would have been actually fantastic here. And our opponent has Ash Blossom, Noctovision, Quick Launch, Chaos Space, and Nibiru. So a pretty solid hand for him as well. And of course I am going first. So starting off, we're going to activate the Pot of Prosperity for 3. I do have 2 Prosperities, and when I have 2 Prosperities, I want to be able to resolve both of them should it come to that, so I do only banish 3 initially. So we're going to hope for a play here, and we do see Chamber luckily off the top. I mean, we had a lot of cards we could have hit. Essentially any normal summonable dragon would have worked because of the Monster Reborn, so lots of things to hit there. We're going to normal summon the Chamber, activate its effect, and our opponent does Ash. Of course, our opponent didn't Ash the Prosperity because, you know, he's not like protecting his board and is afraid of go second cards, and you know, ashing Prosperity when you don't know what your opponent's on is pretty tough. So I think holding it for the Chamber is correct by him. We're going to make Striker Dragon and then activate Monster Reborn to special summon back the Chamber Dragonmaid, which is going to allow us to make our spheres, which is our goal, you know, anyways. If he didn't Ash, we would have ended with spheres tidying, which would have been very nice, but just spheres with Effect Veiler and Nib is pretty good if I do say so myself. So our opponent top decks a Chamber of their own. Of course, they're not playing Dragonmaid, so it's not going to do the exact same thing. He's going to lead off with a Chaos Space ditching Nibiru. We're going to say that's okay. He's going to add Collapse Serpent, which of course is one of the most powerful engines with the Chaos Space itself. He's going to banish the Nibiru to special the Collapse Serpent. I throw a thinking. I'm not really going to bounce this, but, you know, I was thinking in my head, like, dang, what are the chances I bounce this right now and his turn ends? It would have been terrible, and that's why we don't do it. But, yeah, he's going to make the Striker as Chainlink 2. Go ahead and add the White Dragon and the Boot Sector launch. I'm feeling pretty confident in the fact that we have Nibiru and Effect Veiler, so I can hold my interrupts for quite a long time. He is going to banish the Collapse Servant for the Wither Burster. Banish the Chaos Space to put the Collapse Servant back to the bottom of his deck, and draw a card, which is going to be the Recharger. A little bit of an unfortunate draw, but he does have the Boot Sector, so it should be fine. He's going to go ahead and link those off into a Romulus, activate Romulus 2. And he's going to go ahead and get his adds here. Again, I don't really have to worry about interrupting anything for now. I mean, Veiler Nib together is so powerful. He's going to activate the Ravine, and I say that's good. He's going to pitch the Chamber for cost and send the Absorouter, so he's going to use Absorouter's effect here. And he is going to add Rocket Synchron. So Rocket Synchron puts me in an interesting position if he chooses to do it as normal summon, which he does. Now I'm thinking, okay, he's got Abs Engrave, he's got Rocket Synchron. This could lead him into a very easy Chaos Ruler. I almost said Papega Ruler, shout out to DB Grinder. Yeah, so I don't really want that to happen, and I don't want any Papega Ruler access early, so he's going to activate the Rocket Synchron, and I'm going to chain Effect Veiler. Fair enough, he's going to go into Spheres, which I think is an interesting play. It sort of plays around Nibiru, but Spheres is just really weird when I have my own Spheres as well. So it's just an interesting play. Maybe he really just wanted those engrave. He's going to activate the boot sector, use the boot sector launch. I'm like, sure. He's going to special the recharger from his hand and activate Knock Division as Chainlink 2. Knock Division puts me in a really weird spot here because it gives him access to a lot more links in his deck as well as a draw, things I generally don't want. I mean, he has a pretty big board presence here. So I'm going to activate Spheres. He thinks I'm bouncing the Knock Division, or maybe he thought I was chaining to Knock Division. It's the resolution of Knock Division summon. I'm going to bounce back his Spheres, and what this lets me do is activate Seals on a new chain as Chainlink 1. He has no response, and then I'm going to activate Nibiru, and what this will do is clear his board, and then I will get my Seals to summon from deck here. Going to go ahead and special Nurse, who will activate. Special back that chamber that we have in Graveyard. We're just counting his stats. He misclicks. That's the token button. But we're going to put a 0 attack token on his field. And let's pause right here because I really want to say why I nibbed there. In my mind, I know he has Collapse Serpent in hand and one random card. He's got a lot of board presence. I have Spheres to bounce his Spheres, which kills the follow-up on Nib. And I have my own Nibiru. Essentially, what this did when I Nibiru right here is it put him on having exactly Quick Launch. Any other single card in his entire deck, I think for normal Dragon Link, except maybe Levy is another play he could have had, but besides Quick Launch, this is where his turn would stop. Now, of course, we look at his hand, he does have the Quick Launch, which is the one card that sort of punishes my, my play here. But if he didn't have Quick Launch, his turn ends there, and we are in a commanding position. Like, of course, he could have had Levy, which, still does something, but it's not going to be as good as having the Quick Launch here. So we're going to go ahead and activate Chamber to search the Hospitality. And now our opponent does have the Quick Launch. They are going to go ahead and activate it. Again, I knew this was like the one card that could really punish me in his deck. And of course he does have it, so we are going to keep playing here. So turning into a really good game. Because I thought we were just going to have like a complete blowout with the Nib Veiler Spheres. But yeah, he's going to use the Tracer effect. I say that's good. Obviously I have no more interrupts right now. He's going to summon the Rocket Synchron. He, of course, did draw the Recharger earlier, so not on 2 Recharger. He's going to make the Quad Boral, use the effect, pitch Collapse Serpent to special back Tracer and Recharger. Alright, so here, of course, he had his one way to keep playing, which was the Quick Launch. However, to really get anywhere, unless he makes Savage here to just get a negate, to really do anything, his Papega Roller Mill, excuse me, has to be fantastic. Like, I remember when this was happening, I was initially like, okay, he has to mill Seifert and Levianeer. I mean, there's nothing else that will help him. And he mills double Veiler, Levianeer, Quick Launch, and the Seifert. So this is amazing for him. Like, this has turned from a position where 9 times out of 10, I think his turn just stops and he does nothing, to a really commanding, winnable position from here. And he's going to choose to grab the Levianeer, which I think is a mistake. I mean, if we think about it, I think he should grab the Effect Veiler and then Seifert back the Levianeer. He's going to do something later, and I think he just wanted the Levianeer as follow-up. I say wow in chat because that luck so far has been insane. He's going to banish 2 Veilers and a Striker Dragon. And I guess he just wanted to use Levianeer instantly like this instead of grabbing the Effect Veiler, so he knew he could pop my monsters and then add it back with Seifert later. I think that was his goal, and he just wants me not to have so much follow-up on board in the form of the dragons. He's going to swing his Chaos Ruler into my Nibiru. Can't attack with Levianeer because it uses effect. Banish Light and Dark, special summon the Chaos Ruler. And now he can go into the first Vampire. Again, he's locked into Dark from his extra deck, but this is still fine. And he's going to use the first Vampire. I'm really hoping for a Tidying Mill on my end, any big dragons. And of course, he's hoping for something good to special summon. Detach the Levianeer, he mills Tidying, Chamber, Nibiru, and Tracer milling Chamber Tidying. Oh my goodness, this guy's luck is off the chart this game. I'm going to mill Parlor, Super Poly, which we do main deck, Phantasma, and Parlor. So his mill's amazing, my mill's not so great. Now, interesting here, he actually chooses not to special summon off the first Vampire, which is obviously a super huge misplay. There was no reason, there's no actual reason for him not to do this. He should have definitely summoned the Rocket Tracer here. He's going to Tidying, Special Chamber, Chamber Effect, search Tidying, which is another misplay because he didn't special the Tracer. Like, not specialing that Tracer is going to cost him bad because he could have synchroed Tracer and Chamber into Savage Dragon, which is definitely really good. He's going to add the Safer for Levianeer follow-up. Maybe this is like an okay play, and why he didn't add the Veiler initially is he wants to use Levy as follow-up. He knows I'm playing Dragonmaid, I can't really kill him, so maybe Levy follow-up. I can see his thought process there, but yeah, I think grabbing the Veiler would have been so much better. He's going to try to link into, I guess, something, but realizes he's locked under Dark. Maybe he can't. He's going to put the Chamber back on field. Again, he just tried to link. He goes end phase and tries to end his turn. I remind him that because Chamber was specialed off of Tidying, it goes back to hand at end phase, which turns off his set Tidying, which is very, very bad for him. So I feel like Dragons have been comboing off for about 30 minutes now. If he had a Savage here, it would have helped him a lot, but I think he has to negate Prosperity, especially after seeing I am on Super Poly in the main deck. I think he just would have had to negate Prosperity with Savage, and I think we would have been in a great spot. I think we still won this game even if he made the Savage. Now, had he not used the Levianeer as follow-up and instead added the Veiler, we might have been in some trouble. So I'm going to Hospitality, special back the Nurse, dump the Earnest, Nurse effect, special summon Parlor, Parlor effect, going to go ahead and dump Tidying, banish Tidying. I know what all cards in his hand and on field are, so I'm just running through this pretty quick. Going to summon Chamber, activate Chamber, going to go ahead and special the Nocto to chain block the Chamber search. Just something you can do. I knew he didn't have Ash, but might as well. Add the changeover, and we are going to go ahead and use the changeover here because it is the only way. Oh, a lot of thinking there, just thinking about what to do. We're going to go ahead and use the changeover here because the only way I'm outing the first vampire on field is actually to make Yugioh. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to go into battle phase, activate the Nurse, bounce back to special Earnest, which gives us a lot of big bodies. Yugioh is going to swing at the first vampire. Earnest is going to attack directly. And then, of course, we're going to activate the Prosperity in main phase 2. Accidentally banish something face up, of course. Banish 3. And we're going to find Phantasme, which, you know, Phantasme is just a really good card here. I feel like this game one has been going on quite a bit, so I'm going to try to speed things up just a little bit here. Going to go for Seals, pass my turn. Yugioh effect in standby phase is going to special back the Parlor. Parlor effect is going to dump Tidying because I know one of his win conditions is access code, and I want to make sure he can't access code me for game in battle phase, and Tidying is one of the best ways to stop that. And he's going to special summon Levianeer, attempt to pop my monsters. I'm going to activate Yugioh to negate and destroy. He's going to chain the Tidying to which he's targeting my spheres. I'm going to chain the sphere so I get its effect. Now, interesting thing to note about what happens after this chain resolves. I'm going to go ahead. He thinks he gets his Levianeer pop. I tell him he doesn't. But by doing that, I also had my friend in the room watching the game at the time, and he was talking to me. At resolution, I just forget my Seals effect, which was like the game-winning play in my head was Seals summon, I just have too much follow-up and we're good. But I forget my Seals because so much was actually going on in my room while I was playing, so really unfortunate there. It affected this game, but it's, you know, it's fair because he forgot his Tracer summon, so I misplayed, he misplayed. Definitely don't do what I just did. Remember your Seals, guys. He's going through his Dragon Link plays. He's going to summon the Savage. Savage effect is going to link, or obviously get a link. Special Chamber, Chamber effect. He doesn't have a target, I believe, so he's going to take that back. He's going to make Dark, which is, you know, pretty good. He's going to Dark. Target my, or actually, I'm going to activate Phantasme first. He doesn't Savage. I mean, negating this with Savage would be really weird. We do draw Ghost Ogre, which is a very good card here, so he's going to use Dark, target Phantasme. I'm like, that's fine. I don't want him getting a search by me ogering the Dark or anything. He's going to Tidying, bring back the Chamber, which, actually, now that I'm thinking about it, he can't do because he used Tidying's effect to bounce back my spheres at the start of the turn, right? Yeah, so we both didn't catch that. That's, you know, bad on me for not catching it, but of course he used an effect he couldn't use here, which is, again, unfortunate. But yeah, I think he still had some plays regardless, but yeah, definitely a misplay on, you know, his end, and me not catching it's pretty bad. He's going to access code effect. He only has Dark links, so going to go ahead and pop my house with his access code. Then he's going to special summon the Levianeer by banishing 3. No effect, obviously, because it already activated. He's going to attempt to swing. I say at the start of battle phase, I'm going to activate the Tidying. And this sort of either puts his Savage on negating, or I get more bodies. He's going to negate with Savage. I'm going to Ghost Ogre, outstat for next turn. Make sure I definitely don't die this turn, which was the whole goal. He's going to swing into my plays, or my monsters on board, and he's going to pass. We're going to draw for turn Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon. So yeah, just another, this is a fantastic game one. It really went back and forth. Both of us doing our plays. I'm going to use Nurse's effect on summon to special the Parlor. Just thinking about how I'm going to game him from here. Parlor dump Lorepar, banish Parlor for Red MD. Red MD summon Chamber. Chamber effect, Dragonmaid Tidying, which will be really good, just making sure he can't come back on the next turn. We're going to use our fusion spell. Going to add back the Nurse. We're going to use our changeover, sending the Red MD and the Nurse to make House. Battle phase, Chamber effect. We're going to bring back the Lorepar House effect. Pop the access code. And then we're going to swing at Levianeer and then 27 direct. And at this point we have Lorepar and Tidying. And I'm pretty certain almost no matter what he draws, Tidying is just going to be enough here. He draws Nocto, which is, you know, a pretty good draw because he has the Boot Sector Launch Engrave. Special summoning the Tracer, specialing the Nocto. Again, this doesn't really do anything to me. I know all of his rockets are engraved, so Tracer presents no threat. He's going to go ahead and Link Summon and special the Spheres. Get a draw, which could help him if he draws something good. It is an Ash Blossom. End phase, I'm just going to go ahead and Tidying, bounce back the Spheres. Start my turn, and it's almost anything is game here. I'm going to special the Parlor. No effect to play around Gamma. Bring back the Changeover. Changeover, go ahead and Fusion Summon for Sheo. Of course, we didn't play Nagamma here or Nibiru, so we're just going to be able to go to battle phase and attack for game. Alright, so some quick siding here in game 2. He is, of course, going to choose to go first. I mean, makes sense. I did side for go second, so that works out for us. Our hand is pretty good. We have Hospitality, Droplet, Parlor, Chamber, and Effect Veiler. He's going to open Black Dragon, White Dragon, Effect Veiler, Ash Blossom, Chaos Space. So his hand, really weak. And this is something, again, that happens with Dragon Link. It happens with Dragonmaid as well, but talking about how these decks sort of differ from each other, they do tend to play a lot more bricks, which can make their hands more fragile. Of course, this depends on the build. And opening Black and White together is just super unlucky, right? But, you know, it could be anything. It could be like Black Dragon, Absorrouter. It could be Noctovision, Absorrouter, Black Dragon. It could be, you know, Hand Trap, Tidying, White, and like another Dragon brick, like either Nocto or Absorrouter, or the Big Dragon, the Pendulum, if they choose to play it. But yeah, that's sort of like sometimes their hands are just a little fragile. Of course, it's the same for Dragonmaid, but a little different because we require less like actual bricks to do our plays. He's going to Chaos Space into his white, add the Levy, banish the white, special the black. At least he opened white, black, and Chaos Space, so it's not like completely dead because he's going to get a free draw here. Going to send back the white to get a draw into another Ash Blossom, make Striker Dragon, Chainlink 1, Chainlink 2. So what he's going to end up doing here is set himself very nicely for the next turn, where he has 3 hand traps, of course 2 Ash, but Levy, White, Boot, he has plays next turn. We're going to draw a second Parlor, and our hand was amazing for go first or go second. We're going to summon the Parlor, and we are going to get negated by Effect Veiler. I'm going to Hospitality. He's going to choose not to Ash Blossom that, maybe not knowing you can Ash Hospitality, but I definitely think in this situation you always Ash this Hospitality here. So a little misplay on him, and he also has 2, so it's not like you're holding it really hard. You have another one for next turn. But he's going to Ash the Chamber. Definitely you should Ash the Hospitality there. Again, maybe he just didn't know he could. I mean, this is something that not everyone has Hospitality experience, right? But I'm going to go ahead and still make Spheres after getting Veilered and Ash, which is, you know, fantastic. Set the Droplets, have the Veiler. I'm feeling pretty confident. He is going to draw Absorrouter, so that's, you know, that's definitely a card. Special summon the white, go battle phase. I'm going to start a battle phase, activate my Spheres, bounce his white dragon, and we are going to get Ashed. So him having 2 Ash coming in clutch, just Ash so good versus dragons. He's going to swing for 1,000. Again, he really has no play past this point. He's just got some bricks in hand. Not enough lights and darks in his grave for Levy. He's forced to pass again. Again, the fragility of Dragon Link and some hands showing. Like, sometimes they play through 4 hand traps and still make at least seals. And then sometimes Striker. We're going to draw Prosperity for turn. Pretty good draw. I'm going to go for 3. I have a play, so I'm not in dire straits to banish 6 here and really find a play I want more than I already want the Parlor. And I'm going to find Pankratops off Prosperity, which is amazing because Pankratops is just phenomenal. Gonna normal summon the Parlor, activate her effect, dump the Tidying effect, special back the Chamber effect, and if he had a third Ash, I mean, kudos to him. Gonna add the Tidying, which just puts us in an amazing spot here. Gonna swing with Pankratops and Parlor. And of course, in main phase 2, we are going to make these spheres here. We have no big dragon, so we couldn't go for like anything special there. But now we have Droplet, Valor, Pankratops, Spheres, Tidying. I mean, that's just like 5 interrupts. It's really going to be hard for him to do anything here. He has finally set himself up for like plays, but we have 5 interrupts. Like, we're doing really well for ourselves. So he's going to Ravine, pitch Abs, send the Chamber. Fair enough. Abs effect. Going to go ahead and add the Rocket Tracer. Banish 3 for Levy. Going to go ahead and banish Light and Darks to try to pop. We're going to effect Valor that. He's going to special the Boot, activate the Boot. I'm going to Pankratops. I want Boot out of here. Boot is so good on the crackback as well. He's going to banish Dark, special summon White. Going to go ahead and normal summon Tracer. Special the Rocket. On the Resolution, we're going to Spheres, back his Tracer. Going to go ahead and special Nurse from our deck. Nurse effect. Going to go ahead and special back the Chamber, I believe. Chamber effect. Again, just showing the snowball and the follow-up of Dragonmaid, which Dragon Link itself has decent follow-up, but it's not at the level of Dragon Link, or Dragonmaid, excuse me. And then we are going to go ahead and bounce back the Nurse to bounce back his last play. We have Nurse in hand, we have Hospitality, we have Chamber, we have Droplet, we have Tidying Engrave. All those, like, 5 interrupts just turned into, like, 5 forms of follow-up, and that's what's amazing about Dragonmaid. So, gonna go ahead and normal summon Nurse. He's gonna see the writing on the wall here after I dump Parlor, and he's gonna scoop. We do take it 2-0 with Dragonmaid. I don't really like uploading 2-0s sometimes because it feels one-sided, but I thought the game 1 was fantastic, and the game 2, while he did open unfortunate, I think it was, you know, back and forth in the sense that he stopped my play, he had the chance, but we had enough interrupts there to make sure it didn't happen, and just showed the snowball that Dragonmaid can really commit to the board. Hope you guys did enjoy. Again, I want to upload more live duels, but it just doesn't always work out that way. If you did enjoy, give this video a thumbs up, subscribe. This has been Aaron from Top Tier Gaming. Bye, YouTube.